Love and Light family, this is the Satrilrose, and I'm coming to you guys with another live stream. Man, something real interesting just happened just now, man, and I had to come get on live and just talk about it real quick. You know what I mean? I will say that this is a topic that I was gonna talk about, but spirit spirit moves you, man. You have to get up and follow that prompting. You know what I mean? So this is definitely one of those situations to where I had to go ahead and follow this prompting, man. As always, you guys can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, per usual, the Satrilrose. Again, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the Satrilrose. And as you guys can see, I've started gaming. You know what I mean? Definitely something that I'm enjoying right now. I'll actually be streaming on Twitch from now on. I may be, going back and forth, or who knows, I may even go live on both platforms. You know what I mean? When it comes to gaming, it'll pretty much be the same topics, man. Just allowing spirit to speak through me, man. But today I definitely want to get on here and actually talk about the subconscious mind and why it's so important that we actually pay attention to our subconscious mind and those subconscious thoughts. You get what I'm saying? Because right now, as I've been talking about, a lot of us are going through quantum jumps or quantum leaps, if you may, so-called quantum leaps, right? Or quantum jumps, right? And we're entering this 5D shift. We're going from the 3D, 4D to the 5D. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, that represents the golden age. As I've spoken about, recently, in my most recent live streams, I've spoken about not the subconscious, about the golden age, and that's going to be a time to where a lot of our realities are going to be shifting right now. So before that can happen, if I'm being completely honest with you, me personally, what I believe is that a lot of us are going to be going through a lot of chaos before that can actually happen. A lot of us are going to be going through situations to where, you're letting go of certain aspects of yourself and you're letting go of certain programmings. You get what I'm saying? So, I definitely feel as though that this is a time to where this is happening on such a high frequency and on such a huge dynamic. You get what I'm saying? Collectively, I've spoken about mental health, I've spoken about physical health, I've spoken about spiritual health. We need to be focusing on these things right now. It is imperative that we focus on these things right now. You know what I mean? And spirit has guided me and spirit has led me, to talk about these things and to bring this to a lot of our awareness. You know what I mean? And honestly, this is work for me. This is work for me, if I'm being quite honest with y'all, man. Like, doing this and being able to get on here and talk about this, man. There's literally nobody in the chat, but I know once I upload this video, at least 20 people are going to see this video. At least 20 people are going to see this live stream. That makes I'm grateful for that, honestly. You get what I'm saying? I am beyond grateful for that, because this allows me to transmute all of the chaos that's been going on in my personal life. Something that I've come to realize is that making content in general, you know what I mean, it can be nerve-wracking, and it can bring a lot of anxiety. You know what I mean? It can definitely bring a lot of anxiety, along with a lot of the stuff that I'm going through in my personal life. You get what I'm saying? So, I've been in a space to where I'm able to get on here and transmute this and come out with something amazing. You know what I mean? And I feel like, the more I do this, man, the more I'll, you know what I mean? It's worked for me as well. I'll just say that it's worked for me as well to be able to get on here, man. And I'm grateful that spirit allowed me to get on here and do this. You know what I mean? So the main reason I wanted to talk about the subconscious mind is based off of this, right? Based off of the fact that I believe that a lot of us have been programmed and we don't even realize it. A lot of us have been programming ourselves in such a negative way, and don't even realize it. You get what I'm saying? So, and I'm guilty of this as well. This is not me talking at you guys. This is not me talking, just, preaching to you guys. This is something that I can honestly say for myself, that I can hold myself accountable of. You get what I'm saying? That I've actually that I've actually done this as well for my, I'm guilty of this as well. I've programmed myself in such a negative way with bad habits, very, very bad habits. You get what I'm saying? And I say that based off of the fact that I can see the negative effect that it has in my life and in my reality. You get what I'm saying? So just now, right, as I'm sitting here, I'm it's Monday, I've been chilling all day, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, let me cut on Amazon Prime. It's nothing on Netflix, it's nothing on YouTube that I want to watch. Let me go on Amazon Prime real quick, right? So I go to Amazon Prime and there's this movie, they got the little free movies on there, I'm talking about. They got the free movies on there. I'm not really sure what I'm about to watch, but it's this movie about like vampires or something like that, right? And I'm like, okay, cool, like whatever, like, I watch stuff like this all the time, right? This is one of those programs, right? I watch stuff like this all the time. Like, let me go ahead and watch this movie. And I cut this movie on, man. I literally turned this movie on, and literally not even a minute into the movie, it's hella dark. Like, the movie was so dark, and it's not one of those movies like Queen of the Damned with Aaliyah, where that actually has like a spiritual undertone to it. Like, this movie is just straight demonic. You get what I'm saying? It's just straight demonic. Like, it's almost like the vampires were like ruling, like the vampires were like in control and like they dominated society. You get what I'm saying? And that just put me in the mind of just like archons, ruling this planet and ruling it and taking control of everything, media, finances, banking systems. You get what I'm saying? Like, the federal systems, whatever, the justice system, whatever the case may be. And it put me in such like a negative space. Like, I felt like this negative aura just cover me, and I didn't like it. If I'm being completely honest with you, mind you, this is not even 2 minutes into the movie. You get what I'm saying? This is not even 2 minutes into the film. Like, I haven't even really cut the movie on for real. Like, it's not even really on like that. Like, the first thing I see is a vampire. He's a news reporter, and then there's this guy with, this old white guy. He's homeless, red eyes. He's homeless or whatever the case may be. He just looked demonic, man. It messed me up. Like, I'm like, nah, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this. Now, I don't, mind you, like I said, I've watched Blade. I've watched Vampire in Brooklyn. But all of these movies, they have some type of like, Queen of the Damned. Like, I've watched movies like this, The Exorcism. Like, I've watched, like, over the past few months, I've watched a ton of horror movies. You get what I'm saying? But I'm also seeing that right now we are in a space to where we are in a time to where we have to be extremely vigilant about the things we are watching, about the things that we are listening to, about the things that we are, because just like we have a physical diet, we have a mental diet, meaning the things that you consume, and that you necessarily eat to digest. You have to be mindful of that the same way you are mindful of the things that you're watching and listening to. You get what I'm saying? Because your brain has to digest that. Your mind has to digest that. And what I've come to realize is that, the conscious mind has tiers. You get what I'm saying? And these are levels to where we are conscious of the things that we're doing and the things that we're making these conscious decisions, right? You have, you know what I mean? You got discernment. That's one conscious tool. You get what I'm saying? You have intuition. That's another conscious tool. You get what I'm saying? You have wisdom, conscious tool. All of these are conscious tools. You get what I'm saying? Like, but what I want to talk about today is the subconscious mind, right? And since I've been researching this, I've come to realize that the subconscious mind is actually, a storage of thoughts, memories, even emotions, to a certain degree, right? Even emotions to, memories that are stored. You get what I'm saying? And things that are forgotten, things that are, not necessarily pushed to the forefront until something either sparks that memory or until something actually, you know, a sense of nostalgia, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? Something could happen. You could smell something. You could taste something. You could, you know what I mean? You could just be in a certain environment, and certain thoughts and certain memories will flood back in. You know what I mean? And I also believe that the subconscious mind is also where the Akashic records, the Akashic records are at, right? So the subconscious mind holds a really, really, really important, space in our journey, in understanding ourselves and understanding who we are, and what we came here for. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like this is going to open up a portal. This is going to open up a huge portal for a lot of us. This is definitely going to open up a huge, huge portal for a lot of us, and I feel as though that it's definitely going to be an interesting time to where we're actually coming together as one with the version of ourselves who are not necessarily doing better than us, but who are just in a better space than we are in this reality, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, this is definitely going to be an interesting topic. I can't wait to look back at this and listen back at this particular video and just, kind of gauge, where I was at mentally, because, man, that put me in such a negative space, man. That put me in such a negative space, and it's like I got anxious. The first thing I thought to do was to come back in here and meditate. Went to the bathroom for a second, came back, and I did a meditation. And after I do this stream, I'm definitely gonna get back into that meditative state. I may even journal. That's something that I've been talking about too, man. Is like, being able to journal and being able to both journal consciously and also journal those dreams that a lot of us have been having. Another thing that I want to talk about too is, the whole AI thing, right? There's a guy, I forgot his name. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and look him up. There's a guy here on YouTube. He was speaking about AI, and he has such an interesting point to where, his channel is understanding. I may even tag that video. I may even put the link to that video in the description. You know what I mean? Because it was such a powerful video, where he was talking about AI, and to reference that and to piggyback off of what he was saying as far as AI programming our dreams and AI, how can I put it? Yeah, programming and controlling our dreams. And the reason why I want to bring that up is because of the fact that I personally believe that the reason why a lot of our dreams have been so chaotic is because think about it. AI is literally taking over everything. It's taking over Google. It's taking over Facebook. It's taking over all of the music streaming platforms. It's literally, they can stream, like they used to have people to where you can actually, they would hire to actually reference you or to give you a recommendation for music. AI does that now. You get what I'm saying? AI does all of that. You get what I'm saying? There used to be people to where if you type something in and you search something in to where, and I'm not against it at all, if I'm being completely honest with you, because it actually works a lot better. It actually generates a way better answer, in Google, to where you ask a question or you wanting to know something on Google, AI would literally generate something for you. You get what I'm saying? AI would literally generate an answer for you, and the answer would be in depth. You know what I mean? So I do believe that AI could be a tool that we can use. However, it's already been corrupted. AI has already been corrupted. You get what I'm saying? So I feel as though that we have to be mindful of the things that we're generating into AI. We're going to use that as a tool to make money, or use that as a tool to, gain more knowledge, or whatever the case may be. Make sure that you're actually using it as a tool and it's not using you. I know that sounds cliche as hell, but like, that's how serious it is. Like, they've already programmed AI to kill. They've already programmed AI, to attack. They've already corrupted it. Just like everything else. Just like everything else, he talked about it in the video. I'm definitely I'm definitely gonna put that in the description. You know what I mean? I have to remind myself. But yeah, that's definitely something that I feel as though that is going on right now. You know, you look at social media, you look at the explore page on Instagram or YouTube or whatever the case may be, even Facebook. There's always going to be something negative to where in your algorithm, if you're not extremely that algorithm is so sensitive. If you are not careful with that algorithm, you are going to see some disturbing things. You are going to see some disturbing things on your phone if you are not careful. And we all know that these phones are actually listening to us. You can actually you could be talking about something to your partner or to your friend or whatever the case may be, or to a family member, and you go on your phone and see, you could be talking about donuts and see a whole Shipley's Donuts or a Krispy Kreme donut ad on your phone. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how sensitive this algorithm is, man. Like, this algorithm is so sensitive, so we have to be mindful of that as well, man. Music, I love music. You know what I mean? I'm a music head. I'm a music junkie. I can listen to music all day long. You get what I'm saying? And it's like to a point to where I know that if I'm listening to something negative, my mood is going to be negative. If I'm listening to something angry, I'm going to be angry. If I'm listening to something sad, I'm going to be sad and melancholy or whatever the case may be, right? This is the point. This is how mindful we have to be of the things that we are consuming on a mental, in a mental sense, to break it down further, let's talk about frequencies, right? To reference frequencies in a sense to where it's not like how back in the day music was tuned to a point. Yes, sir. What's going on, bro? And yeah, hey, we on here, man. Yeah, bro. But yeah, man, I'm just on here talking, bro. Just letting spirit speak through me, like I said, man. But yeah, we in a space to where music back in the day was tuned to 432 hertz. You get what I'm saying? So music back then, you had the Jimi Hendrix, you had the Stevie Wonders, you had the Bob Marleys and the Michael Jacksons and the Princes. Like, even in their secular music or even in their more sexual music, whatever the case may be, like, the music was still healing. The music was still healing. Nowadays, like now, the music, even Kanye just came out and said recently that the 808 drums, right? It lowers your frequency. It literally lowers your frequency, because one thing I know about the music industry is that they study. These people study. These people are very, very intelligent. These people study psychology and they study spirituality, right? So they're studying both the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. You get what I'm saying? So they know if the music is tuned to a certain degree, or if the music is tuned to a certain frequency, they know that they can control not only your thoughts, but your emotions as well. You get what I'm saying? These people can control what you eat, what you watch on TV, what you go and spend your money on. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is where we're at right now. Like, this is the point to where we're in a space to where, we have to be like, it damn near, you have to be so strict and ironclad with yourself that you're looked at as boring, or you're looked at as like just lame. You know what I mean? I remember when I was in school, man. When I was in middle school, man, that's all I heard was, man, Satrilrose lame as hell. Satrilrose lame. Man, y'all be listening to you. You hear the music he listened to, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So it's like, I've always known that I was an old soul, and I've always known that, that I've been here many, many times before. But I know that spiritually, this is something that my higher self was telling me at a young age, and it's like, after a while, again, you start to get programmed by that, and it's like, you know what, you get tired of it. You know what, I'm gonna cut on some Lil Wayne, I'm gonna cut on some Big Sean, some 2 Chainz, some Chief Keef. And I got to a point to where I was even listening to drill music at one point. Man, I was going to school mad as hell. You know what I'm saying? Going to school every single day, just like mad, like. But then it's like I got to a point where it's like, you know what? I need to switch up my music, and I need to switch up what I'm listening to. So I started back listening to the Temptations and listening to Michael Jackson. Man, it got to a point to where I was looking forward to going to school. I never thought that I would get to that point. Like I was literally looking forward to going to school. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. It's so many accidents that happen based off of the music that's being played. Like, I've seen people actually talk about this too, about the fact that when they had their kids in the car, you know, they listening to jazz, you know what I mean? They listening to jazz or whatever the case may be. But as soon as they drop their kids off to school, they cutting on NBA Youngboy. They cutting on, I don't know, Future or something crazy like that. Rod Wave with his sad ass, you know what I mean? Something crazy like that, you know. And it's like all of this music, like, and this is not me judging nobody who listens to this music, Sexy Red or whoever, like, you know. But at the same time, it's like, man, as spiritual beings having human experiences, we have to be mindful of this. You know what I mean? You know, I remember growing up in band club. I know you can relate to this, man. I remember my mama. Even today she does it. She was just listening to it earlier. You know, growing up, man, I'm somebody every weekend and every morning, driving, you know, while she driving us to school, we listening to gospel music. John P. Key, Marvin Sapp. You get what I'm saying? Like, we listening to all of this amazing music, beautiful voices. You get what I'm saying? And back then, as a kid, it used to like irritate me so much. I'm like, okay, can we listen to something else? But now that I'm older and I'm mature now, you know, and I understand how powerful that was, you know, and how powerful it was to listen to that music, especially in the morning. You get what I'm saying? Like, man, I can break down music, man. It got to a point to where, man, I'm listening to John Coltrane and, you know, John Coltrane and Miles Davis and you know, Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke, you know, people like that, you know. And I'm looking at their lives and I'm looking at their stories, and it's like, how can you go through something so traumatic in your life? You know, having an addiction, or, you know, go through something traumatic to where, or abusive, or whatever the case may be. You're going through all of this chaos in your life, but you're making something so beautiful and that can heal. That's literally healing the world. And of course, you know, I've been a huge Michael Jackson, you know, huge Michael Jackson fan. I've idolized this man since I was a kid, man. This is the only person that y'all will ever hear me say that I've idolized. You get what I'm saying? Him and Prince and James Brown. You know, but I'm listening to Michael, and it's like, I know what Michael has gone through. I know what Michael has been through in his life, especially as a child. And he's making this amazing music. He's making this phenomenal music that's literally healing the world. And now you see why they have to take people like that out and put in place the NBA Youngboys, and put in place the Weeknd, and put in place the, you know, all of these people that's poisoning our minds and poisoning what we're hearing. You get what I'm saying? Poisoning what we're consuming, just like they poison the food. You get what I'm saying? So I definitely wanted to get on here and talk about that, man, because I feel as though that, you know, we have to get into a space to where it's just that ironclad, to where we, you know, it damn near has to be like second nature. You get what I'm saying? It has to be second nature, to where you're getting yourself out of that space of, you have to, how can I put this, man? Because I want to get this right. You have to deprogram your mind and reprogram your mind. Again, I know that sounds cliche as hell, but at the same time, this is something that I'm currently doing right now. I'm telling you this because this is something that I am currently doing right now, right? So I would get up, you know, recently, and I noticed that the first thing that I would do, right? And we're going to get into some scholarship. We're going to get into where I'm getting this information from, and why this is so important, and what brought me to these conclusions, right? We're definitely going to get into that. Right? So I would get up, and the first thing I'm doing is Man, I'm going on Instagram. Man, I'm going on YouTube. I mean, YouTube, it ain't too bad because my algorithm on YouTube is top tier. You get what I'm saying? But Instagram, toxic as hell. I'm still trying to clean up my algorithm on Instagram. So I'm seeing crazy stuff. I'm seeing stuff that I can clearly see as a distraction. That I can clearly see is something that I know I shouldn't be looking at this, soon as I open my eyes. No. So what I started to do, right? Before I go to sleep, I have this ritual, but I want to talk about when you open your eyes, because this is when you're actually coming into consciousness, right? So I will get up, even if I have listened to an audiobook before, or even if I have listened to certain frequencies before, the night before, but as I'm going to sleep, this is what I would do. I would literally go to YouTube. I would find something. The first thing that whether it be a Bobby Hemmett lecture, whether it be a Brother Panic lecture, whether it be Neville Goddard, whether it be somebody like that, some philosopher or somebody, random AI video talking about the subconscious mind, or talking about something to where they're speaking truth, something to where they're speaking positive, or something to where, man, I'm starting to get into the space to where I'm loading my brain with that. I'm literally loading my mind with that. You get what I'm saying? So I'm in a situation to where I'm now reprogramming my mind. And that entails almost like a better mood. I'm setting an intent. I'm getting to the space to where now I want to start setting an intention for the day, right? Again, I'm not perfect, man. I'm you know what I mean? Like, this is something that I'm still currently working on. This is something that I'm still currently in a mind frame of like doing as we speak, and putting this into action, and me saying it now and me saying it publicly. This is definitely going to help me hold myself accountable of this as well. You get what I'm saying? So, man, we have to get into these spaces. So, like I said, man, when I cut that movie on and I cut that, it's just exactly, I'm telling you, man, before your feet hit the ground, I had to really get strict with myself about that. You get what I'm saying? I had to really get strict with myself about that. Like, it's getting to the point now to where it's like, if I even have an inkling of a negative emotion or a negative feeling, like, I'm transmuting that shit. Like, I'm transmuting it. You get what I'm saying? I'm transmuting that. I'm transmuting how I'm feeling. You get what I'm saying? So, when I cut that movie on Amazon Prime, man, I don't even know the name of the movie. I don't even remember the name of the movie, man. But it was such a demonic movie, man. It was such a demonic, like, I can't even really explain it. I can't even really put it into words. Like, instantly, man, I cut it off. You get what I'm saying? Instantly cut it off. So, I definitely feel as though that this is something that I'm gonna have to really pay attention to, like, really be mindful of, man. Really be mindful of, So, like I said, man, we're definitely gonna dive into a lot of the stuff that I've been researching, and a lot of the things that I've been diving into. And I know that you guys see that I know Band Club, you see that I have Olokun as the thumbnail, of this particular video. And the reason why I personally have Olokun as the thumbnail, because of the fact that me personally, I believe that he represents to me the subconscious mind. Because if you think about it, right? And I should have put Yemeya up there as well, right? Because they both go hand in hand. The reason why I say that is based off of this, right? I believe that Yemeya, she governs the surface level of the sea, of the waters, right? Olokun, he's down there with the, deep down there, right? The mind itself to me represents the ocean. The The mind itself, both the conscious and the subconscious mind, represents the ocean. Think about the fact that we haven't even discovered. We haven't even exactly, like, you know, because they both represent one another in such a vast, you know, in such a vast way. We haven't even, when it comes to the ocean, we haven't even discovered, you know, 10% of the ocean. We only discovered like 2 or 3% of the ocean. You get what I'm saying? And they're telling us that they're giving us an estimate of how deep they think the ocean is. Man, me personally, I believe there's a whole civilization down there, but that's a whole nother conversation. You get what I'm saying? There's a whole nother there's a whole nother civilization down there. And I feel as though that there's a reason why NASA went from exploring the sea to exploring outer space. For whatever reason, whatever was down there was a hell of a lot scarier than what was up there. You get what I'm saying? So, and to be in a space to be in this situation to where you're actually looking at this for what it is, and you look at the scholarship of it, you look at the symbolism of the human brain. You know, the human brain is about, you know, 80 to 85% water anyway. You get what I'm saying? And you think about water, you think about the fact that water holds memory. You get what I'm saying? Like these are all these are all symbols that we need to be looking at. You know what I mean? Like these are all symbols that we should be looking at. You know what I mean? So definitely got to talk about that, you know, and bring that to a lot of our awareness, you know. And this is something that I'm getting into the habit of, being mindful of. Is just being creative and being using my imagination, you know, even when you don't remember a dream, even when you don't, you get what I'm saying, necessarily recall a dream, even when you're making something up, you're still tapping into something because you're still remembering something. You get what I'm saying? Like you're still remembering something. Hey, give me 1 second, I'll be right back. We back. So yeah, you know, definitely tapping into something to where you're actually remembering that, and to where you're tapping into different versions of self, and tapping into different aspects of self. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, this work is about to open up portals for a lot of us, man. This work is about to open up portals for a lot of us. You get what I'm saying? And even right now, something else that I kind of want to talk about too, right? Just briefly. And Banklap, I know I mentioned this to you earlier. I personally feel as though that there's a, man, I almost don't even want to say it. There's a spirit over Houston right now. You know, I'm in Houston, Texas. Right now, I believe that there's a spirit over that's covering Houston right now, man. Today, I went outside. It was early on in the day too, and I'm like, one, it's super dark out here. Why is it dark? And why is it like a smoky haze covering, like, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, somebody out here barbecuing or something. You get what I'm saying? Nah, but it's like this smoky haze. It got thick, like it was thick. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. Right. It was like this. Man, I'm telling you, it was like this smoke, and it kind of made me like, it frightened me a little bit because it was kids outside. You know, it was kids outside. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. I don't think today is the day that y'all need to be outside. You know, nothing, you know, blessed enough, nothing happened today, but it's just that energy was just like, man, I don't know about this. You know what I mean? But it's not necessarily, I can't really gauge or judge whether it's an evil spirit or a malevolent spirit, whatever the case may be. But I definitely feel as though that there's a spirit that's covering Houston right now, man. And this is why what I'm talking about is so important. This is why what I'm talking about is so important, because, you know, like I said, think about the ocean, man. Think about the ocean and make that connection to your brain and make that connection to your mind, right? The conscious mind represents the surface level stuff, right? The stuff that we're able to see, the stuff that we're able to, you know, when we go to the beach, when you go to the beach, you go see a shark, you go see a couple of fish, you go see a couple of jellyfish, whatever the case may be. You get what I'm saying? You like, these are things you're gonna see. These are the things that you're automatically gonna see them, because like they rule, they are, you know what I mean? That's their grounds. That's their, you know what I mean? That's where they live. That's where they inhabit. You know, the surface level of the ocean, right? Then you think about as we go deeper into the ocean, we go deeper into the ocean. There are things down there that these people have seen, that they literally cannot speak about. There are creatures down there, and again, man, you can look this stuff up. Like, you can look it up online. There are things down there that these people can't even talk about, that people can't even, if you even try to make a TikTok video about it, it's getting taken down. You get what I'm saying? People have actually dove thousands of feet and still didn't, it's damn near bottomless. You get what I'm saying? Right, they put it all in sci-fi movies and cartoons and anime, you know, stuff like that, and they still water it down. You get what I'm saying? And they still water it down, you know. So again, let's connect that, or let's correlate that with the subconscious mind, right? There are demonic thoughts that we have. None of us are exempt from this. Me, you, or anybody else. None of us are exempt of this. We all have demonic thoughts. We all have thoughts and behaviors that we don't want to come to the forefront. We all have these things, right? We all have things to where you don't want your partner to see. You don't want your parents to see. You don't want your siblings to see, whatever the case may be, your co-workers or whatever the case may be, aspects of yourself that you keep locked away, that you keep hidden. You get what I'm saying? And this is not me creating any type of fearmonger, or this is not me creating any type of, you know what I mean? Like, you're demonic, you're under a demonic possession. But I will say this, that's where that comes from. These so-called demonic possessions, or whatever the case may be, it rides that plane of existence in the subconscious mind. All of those negative thoughts that you aren't aware of, all of those demonic thoughts that you don't acknowledge. You get what I'm saying? Like, all of it. They're all right there. You know, so I feel as though that, and this is such a sensitive topic, man, because everybody has their own views and how they look at the subconscious mind, or how they look at you know, those that to me it's like the subconscious mind is almost like a vault. It's like a vault that you have to tap into. And before you can even tap into that, before you can unlock that vault, there's a certain level of work that you have to do that goes deeper than meditation, that goes deeper than journaling. You get what I'm saying? There's a certain level of work that you have to do, you know, and there's certain tiers. There are certain tiers to that, if that makes sense. There are certain tiers to that work. There are certain tiers to that work that needs to be done. You know, so I feel as though that man, this is about to be a lot. This is about to be chaotic for a lot of us, man. and it's like, literally, as I'm speaking about this, spirit is literally showing me how chaotic. And again, I can't judge or gauge to where this is going to be a negative thing or a positive thing, but I know this, right? I know that the transformation that's going to come out of this is going to be so vast, man. I don't care if one person see this video. I don't care if 2 people see this video. Those 2 or 3 people who are going to watch this video after I upload this, or after I'm done with this live stream, you get what I'm saying? Man, y'all's life is about to change. I'm telling you. Our lives are about to change because we're doing this work. Our realities are about to change, are about to make a huge shift because of this work. I'm telling you. This is something that I've seen. You know, again, you know, once you get past that vote, you've now entered the Akashic records. That's literally what Spirit is showing me right now. After you go through those tiers of work, after you go through that vote, and you've now unlocked that vote, you've now entered the Akashic records. Now you're seeing so many versions of yourself, it's overwhelming. Like in the movie Spider-Man, or the recent one with Miles Morales, he went in there and he's seen all of these different aspects of himself, all of these different aspects of Spider-Man, all of these different, you know, variants. And, you know, just like in Loki, he's seeing these different variants of himself. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. It's a mental change, right? Yep. And you have to be observant. Right. Has Lord. Exactly. I'm telling you, it's certain things that you don't even know why it's happening. You don't even know why it's happening. You just know things are going to be in alignment. You just know that things are going to be in alignment. You know that things are going to work out for the better. And you don't know where this feeling is coming from. You don't know why you're seeing more angel numbers than before. Right now, it's 11:01. Come on, man. What bro used to say? You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, we definitely about to tap into something. We definitely about to tap into some powerful stuff, man. We definitely about to tap into some powerful stuff. You know, and I feel like spirit definitely prompted me, because man, I wasn't about to go live until like tomorrow or something like that, you know. But right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, man, I wasn't about to go live until like, you know what I mean? I didn't know when I was gonna put this out, if I'm being quiet, because I've been so, you know, in that space of worry, and in that space of, you know, again, like I said, none of us are exempt of this. None of us are exempt from those demonic thoughts and those negative thoughts, man. You know, with all of the chaos that I've been experiencing these past couple of months, if I'm being honest with you, man, I'm finna get so personal on this, man. Like I said, I don't care who sees this band club. I know we gonna be talking about this. You get what I'm saying? We've already talked about a lot of this. You know what I'm talking about? But man, I've gone through so much these past couple of months, and it's been so much chaos in my life these past couple of months, man. I've had falling outs with my dad. You get what I'm saying? You know, my relationship is not where I need it to be. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, I've been in a space to where, man, I'm like, how am I gonna allow this? How am I gonna allow this to affect me? My dad has said things to me that no father should be saying to his son. You get what I'm saying? And going through a lot of the things that I've gone through with my dad, man, you know, and I have to speak about this. Man. I really do. Going through a lot of the things that I've gone through with my dad, it's triggered so much. It's triggered so much of the things that I've gone through when I was, you know, as a child. You know, it brought up so many childhood memories that I didn't want, you know, that were unwanted, that I didn't want to remember. It brought up so many, and it's messed up. It's messed up because when you go through things like that, that hurts you to that degree, you forget all of the things that were good as well. That's how powerful the subconscious mind is. That's how powerful the subconscious mind is. So as I'm remembering all of these traumatic events, I'm also remembering all of these beautiful times and beautiful moments as well. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I've chosen to allow it to affect me in a negative way for too long, and now it's time to transmute that. You get what I'm saying? It's time to transmute that. Again, man, this is spirit talking. I don't even think this is me no more. This is spirit talking, if I'm being honest with you. You get what I'm saying? Because, you know, I never wanted to get on here and talk about any of this, but I feel as though that I need to talk about this. I need to talk about this because I know somebody out there is going through the same exact thing, if not worse. You get what I'm saying? So I feel as though that because of the programming that I've gotten or that I've received from my dad, you know what I mean? And as much as I love my parents, both my mama and my dad, I love them both. You get what I'm saying? Equally, wholeheartedly, completely. Like, I love them. You get what I'm saying? They are me. I am them. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like I can't not acknowledge the fact that this man has hurt me on such a deep level. I had to be honest with myself about that. You know, a lot of the things that, man, one thing I heard, right? This is something that I've read about. Your parents, right? As parents, be careful about who. Man, I almost don't even want to say this because I know this is probably going to be something deep for a lot of y'all, right? And this is not me. I don't have any kids, you know, but I know what it feels like to be on the other end of that, right? Be careful how you talk to your kids, man. Be careful how you talk to your kids. Be careful how you talk around your kids. Reason why I say this, when you're projecting your emotions or when you're projecting your shadow self onto your kids, that's that unevolved self, that unhealed self onto your kids, that voice becomes the voice in the back of their heads when they want to do something. When they want to go out there and do something, when they want to go out there and, you get what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, man, I'm finna get transparent with this one. I remember when I first started wholesaling, man, I wholesale real estate, right? And this is something that I will be successful in, just as I will be successful with YouTube, content creating, readings, whatever the case may be, right? I was outside and I'm like, I'm door knocking, looking at different distressed properties, whatever the case may be. And, I've done all of the research necessary. I've done all of the cold calling. I've done everything. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. That's another one too. I'm glad you brought that up. In a state of anger. Yes. And anger mind is such a dangerous weapon, man. And I know this for myself because I've gained so many triggers from that. So many triggers, bro. I'm glad you brought that up. Like, it's literally etched into you. It really is. It's etched into you. So yeah. So I'm outside scorching heat. Like last year, 2023 was the hottest summer we've literally had in years. And I think this year is gonna be even hotter. Man, it was so hot last year in Texas, the grass was heating up. I've never experienced that. I can go outside barefoot and the grass would have never done that. You get what I'm saying? Man, I went outside one day, the grass was literally scorching hot. It was that hot outside, man. So I'm outside, dress shirt, jeans, whatever case may be, got my Chelsea boots on. I'm clean. I got this idea that, if I'm gonna attract money, I gotta look like money. I gotta smell like money. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's just something that I program myself, right? An idea that I've programmed myself to have, right? So I'm smelling good, I'm looking good, I'm outside, I'm doing what I need to do. And as I'm out there, I'm door knocking, I'm talking to people, I'm conversating with people. These people don't even know that I stay over there in the neighborhood. They don't know that I stay right around the corner. You get what I'm saying? I'm just letting them know. I'm just telling them like, hey, look, if you know anybody that's looking to sell their property, I'm your guy. You get what I'm saying? So boom, I'm out there for a good 20 minutes. I'm out there for a good 30 minutes. And all I kept hearing was, who are you? Who are you to say that you're going to wholesale real estate or you're going to be into real estate? Who are you to say that or ask anybody if they're going to sell their property? Who are you? You don't have a license. You're not a real estate agent. Who are you? Literally. Bold as day. I'm talking about brightest. I've never had a thought this clear. I've never had a thought this clear, man. It was scary. It was honestly scary. And in that moment, I'm hearing this for a good 10 minutes. I'm hearing this. I almost turned around and went back home and said, F it. You know what I mean? I don't want to say what I want to say. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to get this page monetized. You know what I mean? But it's like, I almost turned around. And went back home, but you know, I overcame that and I stayed out there. And I actually almost closed my first deal that day because I ran into a property that was asking for 130. I almost got that property sold for 80,000. Based off of the things that I've learned and based off of the fact that I know how to communicate, I know how to network, and I know how to connect people. I overcame that thought in the back of my mind. I overcame it, and I'm almost getting emotional thinking about it. It's 11:11. I overcame that. Just like I overcome everything else. Even doing content, even making content, you know, band clap, you know, we talked about this, you know what I'm talking about? Getting on here, getting in front of a camera, pulling cards. Again, that thought, man, I don't want to tell these people the wrong thing. Who am I to get on here and tell people what they should be doing? Or who am I to tell people that they should be meditating? Who am I to tell people that? Who am I to give readings to anybody? These are all of the thoughts that when me and my dad get into it, when he's angry, he's telling me that, oh, you can't do this because you don't have this, this, and this. These are all of the things I'm hearing. These are all of the thoughts that are coming to my mind. So again, wholeheartedly, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Please, parents, be mindful of how you're talking to your child and how you are talking around your child. Be mindful of the anger, of the projection, of the toxicity that you project onto your child. Be mindful of it, please. Be mindful of it. Exactly. Those, and I'm gonna tell you, bro, those confirmations, man, that's what kept me going. And it puts me in a state of gratitude as well. That's what keeps me going. I'm gonna tell you something else, man. I was outside doing the same thing, man. I was outside, actually this time I was outside doing, I was detailing cars. And my dad, man, I remember one day, man, I swear I don't want to make this into a whole segment about me and my dad and our problems, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, them live readings be amazing, bro. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, so I'm outside and I'm having the same thoughts, you know. And I remember my dad was telling me that, you know, I'll forever be broke if I keep doing this. I'll forever be broke carrying around a pressure washer. What the hell are you gonna do with a pressure washer? Things of that nature, like, and just in this angry sense, right? It did something to me, but I kept going. Man, I was outside telling people like, hey man, you know, I'm detailing cars. You know, y'all come over to the house, such and such, you know, street. You know, I'll come out to you. You know, matter of fact, here's my number. You can text me and schedule your, you know, schedule your appointment. You know, the same thing. And I ran into this older guy, and I seen that he had a truck. I'm like, you know what? I didn't want to do it, but I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and go, you know, let him know. Maybe he got a son or a daughter or something like that. So I told him the same thing, like, hey, you know, my name is such and such. You know, I'm right around the corner, man. I'm detailing cars right now. You know, so if y'all need your trucks, work trucks, cars, whatever the case may be, detailed, you know what I mean? You know, I'm your guy. Same thing, right? Man, this man told me straight up. You know, he was like, yeah. He was like, you know, man, I'm 80 years old, man. I'm 80 years old, and I love to see guys, you know, guys your age. And how old are you? I told him at the time I was like 23, 24, something like that. He was like, man, you young. Man, you young, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep grinding and keep doing what you're doing, man. I love to see young guys, you know, doing things that are constructive, you know, because realistically, like coming from where I come from, man, I could be doing something with, man. I could be doing kick dogs. You get what I'm saying? I could be kicking in somebody dope. Like realistically, like I'm just being transparent with y'all, man. I could be kicking in somebody's door. You know what I mean? But I know that I hold myself to such a high regard, man. I I couldn't even put myself in that space, you know. But you know, just hearing that, it motivated the hell out of me. It motivated the hell out of me, man. It really did. That was another guy who actually stopped me, and he was saying the same thing, man. And that was such a long conversation, man. That I would have to talk about that in another stream, because I'll be on here for 3 hours, because that conversation with him was so amazing, you know. And it's like, you know, although I'm not getting this from my biological father, I'm getting this from older guys who are older than him. I'm getting this from guys who are way older than him and that have been in my shoes. So I feel as though that spirit knew that I had to be out there. I knew that I had to be out there. And I had to overcome that. I had to overcome that voice. I chose my dad to be my father for a reason. Both negatively and positively, you know what I mean? Because if I'm being honest with you, I get my work ethic from him. I get my hustle from him. You get what I'm saying? I get my creativity from my mama. I get my compassion from my mama. You get what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. So I chose my parents. I know that I chose my parents, you know. But yeah, man, before I get off of here, you know, because we almost at an hour in. I don't know how long I'm about to be on here, but I want to kind of get into this, right? 1 second. Hey, let me know if you can see that. Let me see. I might have to do this over. There you go. And my allergies been going crazy today. Ever since I went outside and seen that fog, man, that haze, my allergies been going crazy. But yeah. So let's dive into what is the subconscious mind, right? What exactly is the subconscious mind? The subconscious mind is the part of the mind that is not in the state of awareness. The part of the mind contains memory banks, thought generators, emotion generators, a sensory input controller, and a dedicated storage for habits. This is everything that I just spoke about. Emotions, memory, thoughts, sensory. It's literally a vault to where all of these things are stored. And whether we know it or not, the powers that be have programmed our subconscious mind, because they study this, because they understand this. The subconscious mind is basically responsible for recording events gathered through 5 sensory organs, producing thoughts or emotions, and providing habits or autopilot programs to the conscious mind. And this is why meditation is so important. Because like I said, autopilot. Man, and it's like, I don't want to create no type of fear monger, but I feel as though that a lot of us right now have disassociated so much because of trauma and negative thinking, negative habits, bad habits, demonic habits, that this is affecting us in a negative way. And we don't even realize that we're manifesting negativity and chaos into our lives. And this is why that's important. This is why being in a space of negativity and chaos is because you have to become aware of it. You have to become aware of it, right? You have to. Let's look deeper, right? The memory bank. The memory bank can remember information when when it is extreme emotion, divergent information, relational information, and through repeated actions or rehearsal. I remember Les Brown. Was that Les Brown? Or was that Eric Thomas? One of these guys was, it was Les Brown. He was saying that basically, people say all the time that practice makes perfect, right? Practice makes perfect. No, practice makes permanent. Why? Because of the simple fact, if you rehearse something over and over and over, if you practice something over and over and over, you get what I'm saying? You're going to be in a state of, it's going to become almost like they say, for lack of better terms, it's like riding a bike. You're never not gonna know how to do that because you've done it so many times. You've done it 1,000 times before. You get what I'm saying? This is information. This is information being stored into your subconscious mind. This is why it's important. This is why this is important. This information is very, very necessary. You get what I'm saying? Be careful about what you're watching. Be careful about what you're listening to. Please. Please. Among the 4 ways of remembering extreme emotions and divergent information, can information get remembered easily by the mind because of the involvement of the mind, body, in extreme emotion or divergent information, which leads to deep attention and visualization. You remember easily. And this kind of brings me to, and Bank Club, I know this is something that we've talked about, that we talked about as well, right? A lot of the cartoons that we watched as kids, a lot of that stuff has programmed us as well. A lot of that stuff has programmed us as well. And man, one thing that I did not know is that, man, the Ninja Turtles was one of my favorite cartoons. Man, I did not know that used to be an extremely violent comic book. And I can actually see that if you watch the cartoon, you can actually see a lot of that, in the, you can actually see a lot of that, in those episodes. You get what I'm saying? It's a few others that I can name. A lot of cartoons that were, that had inappropriate undertones to them, that, that programmed us to a certain extent. You get what I'm saying? It's a few of them that I can actually. Ed and Eddie is one of them, and I used to love watching Ed and Eddie. So it's like these things are being stored into our subconscious mind, man. This information is being stored into our subconscious mind, but a lot of this stuff has actually programmed us in a positive way as well. Man, PBS Kids turned me up. PBS Kids, I really believe that PBS Kids is the reason why I'm so damn smart. You get what I'm saying? Man, I used to watch Dragon Tales, man. That show, that was crazy. Dragon Tales, Cyber Chase, like shows like that. Although it wasn't on Cartoon Network, whatever the case may be, because we didn't always have cable. But I know that watching those shows, I was gaining information because those shows were so informative. You get what I'm saying? So it says you may remember only a few childhood incidents. Try to recall what you remember from your childhood. I hope all of the incidents involve certain kinds of emotion, extreme emotion, whether it may be of happiness, sadness, nervousness, or excitement. Like I said, man, a lot of these incidents that happen to us as kids, where it causes some type of sadness, some type of anxiety, even excitement, whatever the case may be, is being stored into the subconscious mind. And something that we talk about on a daily basis is, and this has become mainstream, but it's whatever, you know what I mean? Is the inner child. Your inner child is remembering this. Your inner child. Now, the inner child does not reside in the subconscious mind. That's a completely different tier of the brain. That's a completely different tier of the brain. However, your inner child definitely is affected by this. Is affected by this. You get what I'm saying? We want to get into this autopilot program, right? Autopilot programs are developed through repeated actions or rehearsal. Autopilots are also called habits. It may be good or bad. Only the conscious mind can discriminate between good or bad habits. For the subconscious mind, habits are just habits. There are no good or bad habits. Man, let me tell y'all something. Man, when I was a kid, man, if I experienced something that was like that made me upset at school, first thing I'm doing when I get home, I'm either gonna get me some noodles or a bowl of cereal or something, or if my mama cooked, over with. You get what I'm saying? I'm getting something to eat. And I'm gonna sit in front of the TV and play the game. That's just what it is. You get what I'm saying? And I realized that over time, you know, this was something that was affecting me negatively, because I started to gain a lot of weight as a kid, right? So what I used to do was I used to actually go outside instead of actually, you know, playing my game. As soon as I get home, and I feel like this is why I got so damn tall too. I'm 6'5" for no, you know what I'm saying, for no reason. But yeah, you know, the first thing I would do when I get home is, you know, change out of my clothes, and I would go outside and ride my bike. I'm either going outside to ride my bike, or if it was the summertime, I'm going swimming. I'm doing something. I'm doing something active. So to a certain degree, I was practicing transmutation at a young age. You get what I'm saying? Because I turned those bad habits, I transmuted those bad habits into something more positive, into something more constructive, into something that I knew could actually help me. You get what I'm saying? So I actually love this, man. It says right here, I want to skip this one because this is important. The default life controlling programs are also autopilot programs. These are mapped to the conscious mind for some time to run your consciousness knowingly and unknowingly, right? So again, a lot of the times, man, we do things and we're doing it unknowingly. We aren't aware of these things. Our mind isn't made intelligent of these things. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, the next thing I want to talk about is creative visualization, right? And I'm butchering that word, but it's all good. Creative visualization. Again, this is something that Bobby Hemmett talked about as well. I just recently watched a lecture where he talked about this visualization, right? And the reason why I want to talk about this is because of the fact that I believe that if I can find, hold on, you know what? Let's do this. See, there go that AI again. But I will say that it's something positive, you know, so I'll give it a pass. You know, I'll give it a pass. But the reason why I want to talk about, see, it's generating a whole ass dissertation right now. But one of the main reasons why I want to talk about creative visualization, and I'm butchering that word, but it's all good. We're gonna get through it. Visualization, right? The reason why I want to talk about that is because of this. You have to visualize where not only you want to be, but where you believe you deserve to be. Where in this reality, or who in this reality, do you deserve to be? Where do you deserve to be? You have to use your creative mind to to be visual with this, to a point to where you actually feel as though that you actually feel as though that you're actually there. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to be so creative to do this. You have to be. Let's look at it. Creative visualization is a powerful technique that allows you to mentally create and experience your desired outcomes as if they were already real. By engaging your imagination and all your senses, you can shape your reality and work towards achieving your goals. Let's explore how to practice creative visualization effectively, right? Relaxation. Find a quiet space to where you won't be disturbed. Sit or lie down comfortably. Take a few deep breaths to relax your body and mind. See, that's important. So I want to dive deeper into that, right? There's many ways to where you can accomplish that. One is the traditional way of actually going and sitting in a lotus position and focusing on your breathing and actually how can I put it? Ultimately meditating and getting past those crazy monkey thoughts, getting past those intrusive thoughts, getting past all of that. You get what I'm saying? Being able to get past all of that, you know? So let me check my audio real quick. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, I want to check my audio real fast. But yeah, you know, getting past those thoughts, right? Another one. And this is something that I want to start learning to do. I've already mastered yoga. But I don't want to say mastered, but I'll say that I've began that practice, but I also want to start practicing Tai Chi. That's another way, right? Because it involves you focusing on your breathing, focusing on movement. You know, you're focusing on your movement. You know, for me, another practice will be playing my guitar. That's another meditation for me. For some people, it's gaming. For some people, it's basketball. For some people, it's drawing. For some people, it's rapping, poetry, whatever the case may be. You do have to find a state to where your mind is relaxed. Your mind and body and spirit are relaxed. You get what I'm saying? So this is where meditation comes into play. This is definitely where meditation comes into play, right? You know, and let's look at the second step. It says, imagine, I'm butchering that word. Visualize your desired outcome. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Engage all your senses. Imagine the sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and textures associated with your goal. Be as vivid and detailed as possible. Imagination, man. Again, going back to PBS Kids, man, that's one thing that they taught us. You know, when you watching PBS Kids, man, they taught you how to use your imagination. You get what I'm saying? They taught you how to use, you know, how to be creative with your mind and how to use your imagination at such a young age. You know, I started drawing when I was a kid. And one of my favorite anime, you know, one of the first anime that I watched was Pokemon. And I used to just love the creation of those Pokemon and those characters on that show. So I actually had a book that I bought that I had won, I believe, at a book fair. See, all of this stuff is coming back. You know, all of this stuff is coming back. These are experiences and these are memories that I don't even remember, and I'm just letting it flow right now. You get what I'm saying? So I had this Pokemon book that I won in a book that I got at a book fair, you know, and this book had every Pokemon from that show. And I would trace, this is how I learned to draw. I would trace every last one of those Pokemon. And by the time I got to the end of that book, I've literally had drawn every Pokemon in that book. Like, I'm sitting in class when I'm supposed to be listening to my teacher, whatever she was talking about, whatever they were talking about. You know what I mean? I'll sit up here and draw every last Pokemon in this book. You know what I mean? So as a child, man, I was taught, you know, I programmed myself to use my imagination. This is something that you know, just by me connecting to my inner child, you know, this is something that I'm programming myself to actually, as an adult, because it's like the older you get, you're looked at as crazy if you use even an inkling of your imagination. And I'm telling y'all right now, man, use y'all imagination. Tap into that, because that's where your power is at. That's where your power is at, man. That's definitely where your power is at. Feel it real. Feel the emotions associated with achieving your goal. Imagine the joy, excitement, and fulfillment you would experience. Man, I'm practicing this tonight. Let those positive feelings fill your entire being. Man, I'm telling y'all, you have to, like I said, it almost had you have to feel as though that you're actually there. It's almost like a movie, right, man? Think about sharing like you've already written the script. You've already written the script. You're just acting it out now. And they have what you call, method acting, right? You have what you call method acting, to where you literally put your entire psyche, your entire being into that character. You put your entire being into that character. This is what you have to become the person that you believe that you deserve to be. You have to literally become. I don't give a damn if you say you want to be the Joker, man. You better become the Joker. You say you want to be Batman, you better become Batman. I'm telling you, like, this is how serious this stuff is, man. Like, you have to become that. You have to step into that. Like, it has to feel so real when you're in this state of imagining and using this technique. Again, man, this is something that I'm learning. This is something that I'm gonna be practicing. This is something that I'm definitely gonna be practicing. You get what I'm saying? Man, I love these, man. I'm gonna write these down later on. I'm writing these down. Believe, cultivate unwavering belief that your desired outcome is possible. Trust that the universe is working in your favor. Eliminate doubts and replace them with confidence. It's this movie. It's supposed to be like a horror film, but it's such a powerful movie because it talks about belief, right? It's called Split. And this guy, he has split personalities, right? And I find that to be such a phenomenal it's such a phenom to me, just based off of the fact that if you look at split personalities, or individuals with split personalities, or what they would call bipolar disorder, right? If you look at that, you can look at the fact that these people, when they're in these having these episodes to where, that you're not John anymore, you're Jack, or you're not Samantha anymore, you're Vanessa. You get what I'm saying? Like, they believe that their belief in that character is so powerful. Their entire body structure can change. Literally, it's such a phenom. Like, it's such a psychologists are still trying to figure this out to this day, because a person could go from being petite to muscular. A person's facial features can change because of this. It's such a phenom, man. I'm telling you, like, they're still trying to figure this out. It's that powerful because their belief is, they have so much confidence in that character. You get what I'm saying? They have so much confidence in that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get off of here in a little bit. But yeah, man, they have so much confidence in that. It's frightening, but it's also phenomenal. It's also fascinating. So not only do you have to feel that you're there and say to yourself that you deserve to be that person, you have to believe that you're that person. You have to literally believe that you're that person. You get what I'm saying? Hold on, give me 1 second. All right, we should be good now. But yeah, man, you have to literally believe that you're that person. You have to believe that you become one. You become one with that person. They didn't call him Neo in the Matrix for no reason. You have to become one. You have to. You get what I'm saying? You have to eliminate all. Like I said, I'm sitting up here. I'm outside in the scorching heat, sweating my ass off. You get what I'm saying? I'm literally, my shirt from top to bottom, I'm soaked in sweat. Even while having those thoughts, man, you're not finna tell me I'm not finna close a deal. Even now, I'm having those thoughts. I'm still going to be successful. I don't care. I will be successful. I don't care. At the end of the day, I will be successful, no matter what doubts I'm having. I will not let that overpower me. I won't. I have to, like you said, I have to replace that with confidence. I have to replace that with confidence. You get what I'm saying? And I love this. I love these next two, right? So it says detach. Release any attachment to the outcome. Trust that it will manifest in the right way and at the right time. Detachment allows the creative process to unfold naturally. It does not matter the outcome. It does not matter. Don't worry about what's going to happen after the fact. Don't worry about what's going to happen after the fact. Trust in the process and trust that Mama Universe has you covered. Has you covered in a blanket of protection. That's the only way that this technique can work. You have to let this unfold naturally. Like you said, unfold naturally. You have to let this be so organic and let it flow. Like Bruce Lee said, man, be like water. Again, Olokun, Yemeya. You have to become formless. You have to detach. You have to. This last one is inspired action. Take inspired steps towards your goal. Act as if your vision is already coming true. Trust your intuition and follow through with alignment actions. Let spirit guide you, man. I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you how I got into wholesaling, right? I'm gonna tell you how I got into wholesaling and how I even got into this, right? I'm walking around telling people about my detailing business, about how I'm detailing cars, right? I wasn't getting no clients. I had one good week where I made almost like $200-300, whatever, right? That was a blessing. So I'm outside and I'm networking, telling people, and I ran into this guy named Tony. Ran into this guy and I was telling him about my detailing business. I told him, I was like, hey man, I'm detailing cars. He was like, oh yeah, hey, a little short Mexican guy. He was like, oh yeah, like, that's cool, man, that's cool. Like, do you know how to do paint correction? Because I have this scratch on the side of my car. I didn't know, mind you, I know about paint correction, but I don't know how to do it. But I promise you, I was gonna learn. You get what I'm saying? So I told him, I said, yeah, I can definitely, I know exactly what to do, which I did. I just didn't have the tools for it. You know what I mean? But he was like, okay, yeah, I might give you a call, man. I told him, I said, okay, get my number down or whatever the case may be. So we networking, man. So mind you, I'm on my way to the store. I'm on my way to like Family Dollar or something like that. I'm walking. So as I'm walking to the store, Spirit says, you need to ask him what he does. You need to ask him what he does. So boom, as I'm in the store, that's all I keep hearing. It's so loud in my head. It's like, ask him what he does. Ask him what he does. I turned back around, literally saw him out there. I was blessed enough the fact that he was even out there still, right? So I went over to him. I said, hey man, let me ask you a question. He was like, yeah, what's up? I said, what do you do? What do you do? Right? He says, oh, I'm actually the property manager of this property. Like, I actually own this property. I just sold it to the tenants. So he was an investor. I said, okay, how did you get into that? Like, are you a real estate agent? Are you a broker? Whatever the case may be, right? I'm gonna tell you how powerful spirit was, how powerful spirit is, and how you have to trust your intuition and allow spirit to lead you. This man gave me a play-by-play about wholesaling real estate. And that is the easiest way to get into real estate. He says you can literally do this. You can do this with no money down. You don't need thousands of dollars. You don't need funding. You don't need funding. Yeah, you may need maybe like $100 here and there to use certain software. But other than that, you don't need thousands of dollars in funding. All you have to do is use where you're at now. Use your backyard and you can close a deal. Literally, man, I went back to the house. YouTube University. Watched every wholesale video I could. Took notes. Literally took notes. 2 weeks later, I'm outside and I almost closed my first deal within a couple of weeks. Literally, I'm gonna tell you, the only reason I didn't close that deal was because my phone was off. The only reason I goofed it, the only reason I did not close a deal was because my phone is off. I can tell y'all that story another night or another day, but I wanted to bring that back up because of the fact that I took action. I took action. I used my imagination and I envisioned myself doing this. I envisioned myself being in this space. And I took action. You get what I'm saying? I took action. I trusted spirit. I allowed spirit to lead me. And this is therapeutic for me to even speak about right now, man, because if I'm being honest with y'all, I've been having so much anxiety about where I'm going in 1 second. About where I'm going and where my life is at. Okay, I sound good. All right, bet. Appreciate it, bro. But yeah, man, I've been having so much anxiety about where I'm going and where I'm gonna be, and you know, I'll be 26 years old in September, man. And if I'm being quite honest, I don't know where I'm gonna be, but I know I'll be successful by any means necessary. I will be successful. I know I will. So this is definitely something that I needed to get on here and do, man. I definitely needed to get on here and, you get what I'm saying? I needed to get on here and transmute all of what I've been feeling these past couple of months, these past couple of days, these past couple of weeks, whatever the case may be. I had to get on here and transmute that. I had to. And I know once I listen back to this and once I actually get into, you know what I mean, get into reprogramming myself and reprogramming my subconscious mind, it's going to be such a powerful transformation. I'm telling you, it's going to be such a powerful transformation, man. It really is. So yeah, man, I'm about to go ahead and get off of here, man. You know, Band Clap, I definitely appreciate you for being in the chat, bro. We going live soon. Real soon, we will be going live. Whether it's on your channel or my channel, we will be going live soon, bro. You know what I mean? I'm definitely grateful for all of the conversations that we have and just you being on here, bro. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, and everybody else that listens to this and everybody else that listens to this playback, as always, you guys can find me at the Satrilrose on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Again, the Satrilrose, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I'll be posting clips from this onto my not YouTube, Instagram and TikTok. Also, before I get off of here, I want to challenge y'all to do something, man. I want to challenge y'all to do something like I did in my last live. I dare you I dare you to meditate several times a day. I dare you to fast for at least an hour when you wake up. I dare you to journal every night before you go to sleep. Instead of scrolling on Instagram, instead of scrolling on TikTok, I dare you. I dare you. Because this is something that, again, this is something I have to hold myself accountable of. But like I said, man, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here.